Imagine in your mind a chair. What comes to mind? What do you picture? Perhaps you picture just a brown chair, wood, with the grain moving across it. But not that chair, that's not what I'm talking about. Think about another chair. Perhaps you're thinking about one of the orange desks that sits in the classroom here at Southwestern Seminary. It has on the side the desk portion that raises up and flips over. It's bright orange. Yeah, but that's not the chair. What if I were to tell you that this chair, the chair that I have in my mind, is nothing like those chairs? You see, the chair I have in my mind, it's black. It's got leather on it, or at least it pretends to be leather. So what comes to your mind then? Well, maybe it's like an office chair with arms, right? But see, no, that's not the chair I have in mind either. The chair I have in mind is the chair that is the most comfortable chair in my house. It's the chair that reclines back and I can relax and go to sleep in it. It's got broad, plush arms on the side. It's very comfortable. It's my recliner. Now that's the chair that I intended for you to picture. But see, in order to get you from the initial concept of chair to the chair that I really wanted you to think about and see, I had to describe it for you, didn't I? Now what happens, especially if we're in a missionary context and we say the word God? If you say the word God, or perhaps even say the word Allah, what comes to mind? Is it the God of the Bible? Is it a God who is both transcendent and immanent? Is it a God who is a loving Father who adopts us and takes us from being slaves to being sons? Or in their mind, is it a God that is totally distant, that has already predestined everything? Is it a God that's not loving or not caring, but is a harsh punisher? What does the word God bring to mind? You see, what we have to be very careful of when we do evangelism and when we talk about the doctrine of salvation is that when we mention the word God, we recognize that other people could have very different concepts of God. What we mean when we say God is the God of the Bible. We mean the God that when we narrow it down is Jesus Christ, who is the image of the invisible God. Now, if I say to you, do you believe in God? And you tell me yes, and then I say, you mean Jesus Christ? And you say, oh no, not Him. We're not talking about the same God. And so what you have to be very careful in your evangelism is that you're precise in your wording, that you're careful with your evangelism, and that when you talk to somebody about God, it's not just some misunderstanding of a different concept they may have, but it's the God of the Bible, the God contained in the Bible that He gave us, and which Jesus is the image of that invisible God. That's what we have to be very careful to do in evangelism.